The city's skyline still burned behind her as Zha'korr, wrapped in ribbons of light and shadow, descended upon the ruins like judgment given form. Her unborn power had grown restless, whispering commands that bent the air itself. The dream sweepers had vanished into their cosmic veil, leaving silence and ash. But Zira's vengeance required more than victory. It demanded purification. From the smoke she called forth two shapes bound in luminous chains. King Kartel and Mr. Majestic Ninja. Their armor scorched, their spirits cracked, but unbroken. They stared at her as if seeing a stranger gone was the woman of fire and sorrow. Before them stood something other, a being crowned in grief and lightning. "You will meet the maiden," she said, voice layered with two tones, her own and the unborn child's. Beneath the palace lay her new creation, a cathedral of living metal humming like a heartbeat. At its center waited a tall construct, the Iron Maiden, not of torture, but of transformation. A body forged of 1,000 shimmering needles of light, designed to extract corruption, memories and lies from human souls. She told them it would purify what the dream sweepers infected, yet her eyes betrayed another truth. She sought to test divinity on mortal flesh. Kartel tried to reason with her, pleading through the chains, "Zira, you're losing yourself." But her answer was colder than the void. Perhaps the self was the cage all along. The chamber filled with resonant hums, the air tasting of ozone and sorrow. Majestic Ninja strained against his bonds, the glow reflecting in his eyes like twin suns of defiance. He remembered the wars, the love, the betrayal, yet even now a fragment of tenderness surfaced. He whispered her name, not as an enemy's curse, but as a lover's prayer. For a heartbeat her resolve faltered, and the unborn child's voice within her thundered, "They must be cleansed." The needles extended, each one a filament of memory, drawing images of their shared past into the air. The first alliance, the broken trust, the kiss that began the war. Zira trembled, torn between rage and remembrance. The maiden pulsed brighter, sensing hesitation. "This isn't purification," Kartel gasped. "It's erasure." Zira stepped closer, tears forming sparks as they fell. "Erasure is mercy," she murmured. But as she touched the maiden's surface, the machine shuddered, responding not to her will, but to the child's. The light became blinding threads of energy wrapping around all three of them, merging heartbeats, rewriting the line between captor and captive. The unborn force within her reached out, tasting their emotions, feeding on regret and devotion alike. Alarms blared, the ground cracked. Kartel and Ninja screamed, not in pain, but in awakening fragments of their consciousness, scattering through the chamber like shards of starlight. Realizing the machine had turned on her, Zira tried to shut it down, but it whispered back in her own voice, "You wanted perfection. This is perfection." With a thunderous burst, the Iron Maiden imploded into light, releasing them into the darkness above. When the dust settled, Zira stood alone in the ruins of her creation, the two warriors gone, neither dead nor alive, existing somewhere between reality and dream. She fell to her knees, clutching her stomach as the unborn presence laughed softly inside her mind. "You've purified nothing," it whispered. "You've only opened the next gate." And as the skies over Jamaica cracked with aurora fire, Zha'korr realized the war for souls had only just begun, and that the true Iron Maiden was not the machine. It was the heart that dared to love in a world built on betrayal.